great day, attractive thinkers, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. We are delighted to be here with you. Last week's episode was phenomenal, and your comments, we're hearing your comments, and we thank you for the likes and the share. We're trusting that you're sharing and subscribing to our YouTube channel because Beyond the Break is where it's at. I'm telling you, we are breaking these chains. We're dropping gems that you can use. So much value from these episodes. And I know they're going to support you in your life and business success, support you with these mental struggles so you can overcome these obstacles. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your identity coach and get to the root specialist at theattractivethinker.guru. We specifically support new and aspiring entrepreneurs just like you so that you can overcome these mental barriers that are blocking you from reaching your success. Welcome, my co-host, Tichet Bradshaw, to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance.
Happy Mindset Monday, everybody. We made it. We made it through another week full of power. We get to do what we never did, go where we've never gone, and have all that we deserve to have. It's such an amazing day to be alive.
Yes, it is. Attractive thinkers, I trust that you listened to last week's episode again, not just one time, but again, because it was so fantastic and amazing. Today, we're going to be talking about letting go so you can grow. Now, when we talk about letting go, I know you may have heard that before, but letting go, we're going to get really specific about what that means because there's so many things that we have to let go of that we may not have considered. You may not have considered that you have to let go of a thought pattern, not just a thought, but a whole thought pattern. Because with this thought that comes up when you're considering letting go, there's another thought that comes with that thought. And all you have to do, a lot of times I notice this, to shed, all we have to do is embrace or allow that first thought to come up, and we meditate on that, and then it brings all of its friends. It creates a whole pattern, and it's not a new pattern. It's the same old pattern, thought pattern that came up yesterday and the day before. Every time you think about letting go, this same thought comes, and if you don't catch yourself, you're thinking on that thought, and then before you know it, all of its friends show up. Now you have all of these thoughts that you're thinking about, and they're contrary to letting go. So when we talk about letting go, it could be letting go of your old identity. That's the really big letting go right there, which consists of your old belief system and all of that. Letting go of a job or letting go of something that's no longer working. Now, here's the deal. A lot of times, Tisha, we think that letting go means something's wrong with what we're letting go. It doesn't mean that. It can also mean that the purpose for that, the time frame for that, to be of service to you in your life has passed. It used to be a great thing. It used to work. It was exactly what you needed. But because you've grown, nothing has happened with the thing. You changed, you've grown. So now you have to release that so that you can embrace something else that is comparable to the growth that you've experienced in your life right now. So letting go doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I remember, when I first started diving into this letting go thing, and I was just letting go so many things in my life, certain things I held on to, think about this for a moment. When we're changing our room around or even moving from one house to the other, you find some little trinkets, and you find some little things that you had around the house, and you say, well, I guess I can take this with me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not broken or anything. It's not that something has to be wrong with it. Its season has passed in your life. You don't need to be taking things that because see, when you take old things that really are no longer serving you for where you are right now you're bringing old memories with you. See, letting go also talks about letting go of those old memories. I used to have a little treasure box in my room when I was a little girl. And I kept it all the way up until I was an adult. When I moved into my home, as an adult with my family, I had my treasure chest, and it had a chain and a lock on it because when I was a kid, I didn't want my siblings going in there. So I had this treasure chest with this padlock on it and everything. Inside the treasure chest was all of these greeting cards that I had collected over the years, as a little girl, but they were from friends, like male friends. And when you're moving into another location, you don't want to bring all of that with you because they're triggers. So letting go means also letting go of old memories, because old memories come with triggers, and now you're being triggered to think about things that you don't need to be thinking about, things like that. Now, it was nothing with the cards. It was just, when you're in grade school, little love notes and little I love yous, or just a card, thinking of you, something like that. But sometimes you got to get rid of the things that you don't think you have to get rid of, because of what's attached to those things, because of what is attached to them. That's the point I want you to write down in your attractive thinker notebook. It's not that there's something wrong with the thing. It might not be broken. It might still be in good condition, but you have no idea what's attached to that. And if you bring that, you bring all of that other stuff with it. Talk to us today, Tichet, about letting go so you can grow.
I mean, you had some marvelous points. See, life has a flow, right? And when it has a flow and a cycle most of the time, right? So when life flows, you allow things to pass through. You have something coming and then it goes, and something comes in and it goes. You can breathe or you can hold your breath, but then you have to let it go. And you're right. It doesn't mean that something is wrong with the thing. It just means, like you said, the time has passed. That is significant because a lot of us, our suffering comes from hoarding
Mm,
memories, hoarding situation, hoarding everything spoken over us that wasn't in our best interest. There was a lot of those things that we held on, and the holding on to it is causing confusion, which is leading up to suffering.
mm,
So when we talk about letting go, allow yourself for a moment to think of when you're free and it's just you. And if you had to start over and it's just you with the clothes on your back, you would be free to create any new life, any new vision. You will be able to create with a clean canvas. If, let's say, anything, God forbid, you were forced out, right? And now you're forced to create a new image. You're forced to create a new life, a new home to build. Um, Sometimes we have to get to a point where we don't want to have it to be forced. We just willingly create new visions. We are willingly allowing the old things to pass away and let the new things come in. Sometimes we get to a point where we don't necessarily need to be forced out in order for us to clean out, like cleaning out our closet. That allows us to put new places in. Otherwise, we will never be able to appreciate the things that we have because it would be mixed up in the clutter of all the stuff we have hoarded over the years. So we have to do the same thing with our mindset. We have to allow our minds to be clean. We have to allow thoughts and stuff is good, affirmations, all that stuff. We encourage you to use those affirmations, but every now and again you have to reevaluate your thoughts, reevaluate your affirmations, and see if it still stands in this time. You have to reevaluate your whole, your idea, the narrative you're trying to paint for your life. Reevaluate the vision you have over your life to make sure it still stands, because as you grow, a lot of the things around you should grow as well. So it's okay to let go, because in the spirit, in the spiritual world, everything has a flow and a cycle. Something might go in, it might go out. If something goes up, it goes down, so things will go in, out, or dark and light. So we feel the flow of things. We can all benefit from allowing things to flow the way that they need to. Letting go frees you up in your mind. You can't hold every thought or every word that somebody said to you, or you'll have everything sitting at the forefront of your mind and you don't allow the freedom of creativity. When you allow yourself to clean out a thing, you're inviting a newness to come in. Now, some of us have a problem with letting go because we feel like if we let go, something's going to happen. We'll be caught, off guard. We feel like if we let go, we won't receive anything. We have so many reasons why we
mhm,
won't let go, but when we work through what we need to let go and we understand why, our why, I'll tell you what is powerful.
mhm,
Our why will let you know, okay, this is not this is not helping me in this moment. So I need to let that go. Your why must be revisited over and over and over again because it allows you to keep up with your growth. So we have to let go of things in order to lighten the load sometimes. Heaviness is one thing that weighs you down, and holding on to every little thing will weigh you down. So to me, letting go was one of the best things I could do because it allowed me to be completely free. So that's what I believe, Dr. Tony. We have to let go so that we can grow.
Yes, Tichet. And when you say grow, let's talk about that. Attractive thinkers, I want you to understand something. When we talk about growing, I want you to understand that that is a natural part of life. Do you not know that you're supposed to grow? Do you not know that you're supposed to get better? See, sometimes, Tisha, we may not be making the connection here that growth is supposed to happen. This is, like you said, life is a cycle. Nature has its cycle of how it produces. And then, during the fall, the leaves fall off the trees. And I noticed as well, this is what I want to share with you, attractive thinker. As soon as the leaves begin to fall off of the tree, now I've noticed as a little girl, when school starts, the weather shifts. It's like the first day of school, we need sweaters. I'm like, how does this always happen on the first day of school? You need a little jacket or something. But I notice when the leaves begin to fall off the trees, the skin on my hands begin to dry out. This is saying something to me. My body begins to dry. I find myself, my skin dry, my legs and my arms. And even my face. Your makeup doesn't even sit well when your skin is dry and doesn't have the moisture that it used to have, like in the summer and the spring and things like that. What that's saying to me is we are a part of nature. The same transformation that's taking place in nature is taking place in our lives. That means we are supposed to grow. We're supposed to change and evolve and elevate our lives. So I want you to understand that part. Because sometimes we don't understand, like, wait a minute, you're right, I am supposed to be growing. And if I'm in this situation, or if I'm thinking about these thoughts, or if I'm having this experience that's not supporting my growth, then it's my responsibility to do something about that so that it doesn't hinder my growth process. If we're supposed to grow, to shed, it's our natural response in life to grow. And we recognize that we have things in our life that is preventing us to grow. It should alarm us. It should alarm us. But like you said, there are so many things in our lives, so many reasons. That's what you said. So many reasons why we don't address these things that are preventing our growth. Maybe because we don't see ourselves as valuable, or maybe because we don't have any dreams, aspirations, or hopes anyway. I know not attractive thinkers and visual encouragers. I'm just saying, those are the types of things that prevent us from taking the action or responding to the things that are preventing our growth. Maybe we don't have a goal that we're working towards. So something that's in our life that's preventing our growth, well, so what? I'm not going anywhere anyway. Those are some of the thoughts that people deal with and battle with when it comes time to let go so you can grow. So I want you to consider these things. You might say, well, I'm not holding on to anything. I want you to really think about it. And Ashley, here's the beautiful part about knowing who you are, standing in your power, and understanding that all you have to do is ask a question and things will begin to be revealed to you. Just ask the question, where am I not growing? And what is hindering my growth? You don't have to know right now, but spirit knows and it will reveal it to you. I love that aspect of spirit. I don't have to go through a third party. When I was coming up, we used to go back and forth to church. We always had to go to the pastor for everything. They didn't teach us to rely on the Spirit of God within us, to trust the Spirit within us. And now I'm at a place in my life where I understand that is so the thing to do, and I love that relationship that I now have with God. I can just ask, and you could be anywhere. You don't have to be on your knees when you ask. You could be outside gardening and say, I wonder what is holding me back, or show me what what I'm holding on to that I need to let go of. And before you know it, maybe not that same day, it may be tomorrow or next week. You could be again minding your business and doing something else, and these answers will come to you. And I love how spirit gives answers because they're real, they're the truth, they're the answers from the core. They're the answers that if you take action on it, it's the real answer. It will really get results. Sometimes you ask people questions and they give you an answer, but that's not quite it. That's not what's going to give you the result that you're looking for. That's not, I know that might be the issue, but that's not the main issue. But when you ask God to give you an answer, you ask him what is holding you back, or why won't, sometimes I even ask the question, why am I holding on to that? Or why am I thinking that? Or why do I feel like that? You have to ask these questions and not avoid them, because then you tend to, like Tichet says, start hoarding thoughts, hoarding behaviors and emotions. They're just piling up and piling up because you're not addressing them, and you're not doing anything about them. It's just like your car. You have to clean it out every week, or the stuff start piling up. Napkins and straws and books and papers and things just start piling up because you're not responding to what you're supposed to be letting go. You just let it happen. Yeah, yep, just let it happen. I'm gonna pile all the shoes up right here. I come in the house every day. I take all my shoes off right here. And in the process of doing that, you're supposed to take the shoes from the front door and take them to your room and put them away, because you're not wearing these same shoes tomorrow. But instead of doing that, you just let them all. But it's just like laundry. Just let it pile up. After a while, it's overflowing out of the basket, out of the room, out of the washroom. You can't even get into the washroom. And this is what happens in our emotional state, in our thought life. And I know it can be tough. So many times I was functioning in things that I was supposed to let go. And when you find yourself functioning in something that you're supposed to let go, your toleration level is extremely high. You are tolerating dysfunction, you're tolerating hoarding, you're tolerating clutter, you're tolerating being uncomfortable, you're tolerating being choked, your spirit being choked, your inspiration being choked, your ideas being suppressed. And I always say, a lot of times people are dealing with this depression. Sometimes it's a result of suppressing what you're supposed to express. Back to you, Tichet.
That's true. It is. You got some good points, right? Because you said we pile up things in our car and things like that. That's a good example of what you mean when you say those things might have been useful at a time, but because we could not let it go, now it's getting in the way of the quality of our life. So I was saying that to say, um, in our mind, in our hearts, in our emotion, if we can't learn what to let go, when to let go, and why to let go, then the things that we are holding on to, we're going to see that it will pile up and get in the way of what we're trying to produce and what we're trying to be in this life. So letting go is supposed to not only be freeing, it's supposed to be productive, it's supposed to allow you to flow, and it's supposed to allow you to grow. Growing is the absolute for us because we are human beings and we're ever evolving. Growth is something that we have to do naturally, and that's not just in the physical realm. That's in all realms. We have to be able to grow. We can't stay babies all our life, stay in baby clothes all our life, eating baby food all our life. We have to have that growth mentality that allows us to move forward and allow us to receive what's in the next level, as versus holding on to the comfort of the last level all the way up until that comfort becomes discomfort. It becomes uncomfortable to you. So letting go is necessary in order for us not to stunt our own growth and our own ability to see that we can fly. We talk about zip lining. The only way when you're zip lining, you're up on this high platform with the intentions of getting over to your destination. You cannot get over to your destination until you are willing to jump off that platform and let go of that area in order to go across, facing the fears, doing all you can to get over there in order for you to see your manifestation, in order to see that you made it somewhere, you believed in yourself, in order to feel the liberation that comes with jumping off and letting go. Letting go, there is a liberation that comes with it. I like to let go of everything. I like to throw everything in the trash. Sometimes I throw stuff I need in the trash, but you know what? When I need it again, I go to the store and get it. And that's okay, because I get to enjoy a new thing. I like when things, when you get new stuff and it's like fresh and, you get to create something else. That's okay, because if life forced you to let go, you would. So now be in a position where life doesn't have to force you, where you can let go gracefully and allow that letting go to be on your own account, and that you can build and create and visualize and build a new vision for yourself, while you are in the process of letting go, versus having it being taken away from you and it being completely harsh. And then all of a sudden you're building, but trying to recover from the harshness of being forced to let go. So when we are willing to do the work, and the work does not have to be done for us, there's so many benefits that come out of being able to do the work. Number one, you get to look back and know that that strength that came with that. You get to look back and see the growth that you had with that, versus when it's just, somebody does it all for you. You kind of take it for granted a little bit. Like if somebody give you a car versus you worked hard for that car, so there's a lot of benefits in letting go. And I recommend, sitting with yourself, going over your ideas, going over your mindset, going over your habits, your character, going over who you are, and what you are willing to do. Going over all of that to make sure that you are in alignment to grow and to be who you've always wanted to be. And that's powerful. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
That's so phenomenal what you're saying, to Shannon. Attractive thinkers, I trust that you are catching these gems in your attractive thinker notebook so that you can go over them later and really unpack and unfold what you're gathering here. To Shannon, you're talking about letting go so you can grow. And attractive thinkers, visual encouragers, I want you to understand that it is essential that you grow. I know you might feel good. You may even feel great. What if you could feel greater? What if you could go further? What if you could do more? What if you could be more? And growing, see, when leaves fall off of the trees and in the springtime they come back, they don't come back greater. They just come back as leaves. But we, as human beings, when we grow, when we let things go so we can grow, we come back stronger. We come back more powerful. We have more of an impact. We have more insight and more clarity. I want you to think about that, and we can create more. We have a different perspective. So our growth is essential. Our growth is fantastic and amazing because we come back as these incredible beings. And something really funny happened today. Not funny, but it's ironic that we're talking about letting go so you can grow. A Facebook memory popped up of a picture of me from 10 years ago. And I looked at the picture. I was like, wow, 10 years have gone by since I took that picture. And the thing about it, when I looked at that lady, she was good and great as her, by herself, but she is so much greater now. Some pictures I look back on, I was like, wow, I'm so glad I'm not there anymore. But this particular picture, if you go to my Facebook page, I really liked who that person was. And I know that I am totally different from who she is today. And just to think that 10 years, that transformation took place in 10 years, I wonder who I'll be 10 years from now. I wonder who you'll be, attractive thinker, visual encourager, 10 years from now. And I posted on my Facebook page, when we were in school, our teacher used to always say, you better sit up and act right because, you're working on your future. Where will you be in 10 years? And that was like so far from our little minds. I couldn't even imagine who I would be or what I would be doing with my life 10 years from now. But more than 10 years has passed since she said that. And the question is, where will you be in 10 years? Who will you be 10 years from now? And I would like to leave an attractive thinker strategy with you. It's just an assessment, and I call it a strategy because it's something that we do to really get crystal clear as to where we are. It's an assessment, really. periodically, you could do it once a week. You could do it every 30 days. Sometimes people do it once a year, and they have these New Year's resolutions and all this and that. But maybe every 30 days you can assess, like Tichet said, and take a look around these different areas of your life, your spirituality, your health, your finances, your business, your relationships, your mental state, your emotional state, and just your thought process. And just look around and say, what do I need to let go of? What have I outgrown? That's a good one. When we go through our closet and we call ourselves spring cleaning, we look at shoes and pants and shirts and things. We say, oh, this is too tight, or oh, this is too big, or I've outgrown this style, or I don't wear this anymore. What have I outgrown? You want to ask yourself that, because when it's time to get rid of things, sometimes you feel a little bad. You say, oh, that's so beautiful, I don't want to get rid of that. But what have I outgrown? That's the question. And when you look around you in your life, have I outgrown this relationship? Have I outgrown these thoughts? Have I outgrown feeling like this, these emotions? Have I outgrown my level of health? Am I ready for another level of health? Have I maxed out this level right here? I've outgrown drinking my water every day. I got that down. I know how to do that. I've outgrown eating my vegetables. I got that. Okay, how much further can I take my health? How much better can I feel? Maybe I need to get into herbs now, or maybe I need to get into detoxing and cleansing. You want to ask yourself what's working and what's not working, so you can get a clear picture of what you have to let go of so that you can grow more of. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your identity coach and get to the root specialist at theattractivethinker.guru. If you're looking for clarity, book a clarity session, clarity.theattractivethinker.guru. We get on the call together with me, the attractive thinker, and we map out where you are. What are your blocks? What is it that's blocking your vision, blocking you from seeing who you truly are on a very deep level, so that you can apply that to your life and your business. If we're taking action in life to share, and we're not who we really are, there's an imposter walking around, faking the phone, trying to be like us, trying to mimic us, and we're not really fully, standing in our own truth and taking action from that place. Tichet, tell our audience how they can get in touch with you, the visual encourager.
Absolutely. You can find me on my website at www.visualencouragement.com. We provide mental support for movers and shakers, groundbreakers, trailblazers, pathfinders, people who desire to lift heaviness so that they can create a new vision for themselves. Go to my contact us page, put in your information, let me know how I can uplift you, encourage you, and enlighten you so you can live a life of fulfillment beyond the break. Again, my website is www.visualencouragement.com. See you soon.
Awesome, awesome. Let go so you can grow. Our life's work, that's to make your life better. Remember, it is not what you're going through, it's how you're viewing it. Think attractively, and we'll see you soon.